Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Now today guys, I'm going to be bringing in some of the hanging baskets that we have here in our yard back into the polytunnel. And the reason why we're doing this is because they are still in very wet soil, and the temperatures here in Ireland are still pretty mild at the moment. The nights are getting a bit chilly. But during the daytime temperatures, it's sort of in the double figures, and it's been nice forecast for the next week or two of lots of sunshine. So we don't have to worry about bringing any plants in to overwinter in the house just yet. Some of you have been following these video vlogs know that the other week we brought a lot of the ones that are out here into the house. They're the Hylocereus ones that aren't cold hardy at all, and they're in wet soil, so they need time to dry out. But we've got some euphorbia still out here, and another big Hylocereus that seems to be a bit more hardier, so they're sort of dry because they're sheltered here under the roof of the house, and they can stay out for a bit longer until they're forecast much lower temperatures of an evening, so they're okay. And as I say, we do have a polytunnel heater at hand should we need to put it on if they forecast the odd frosty night, which so far they haven't, which is great. But say these hanging baskets here are ones that are going to be overwintered inside the polytunnel for the winter time. And although they're fine out here during the day as such, because the temperatures are nice and mild, we are still having rain in between the sun, and as you can see, I'm just going to show you there, the soil is soaking wet in these hanging baskets, and they do need to dry out completely before the cold weather starts. Now Epiphyllum like this do like a bit of water during the winter, just a tiny bit of water. They don't like to be left completely dry for long periods of time because they're just the type of cacti that are more epiphytic. But I've done videos on how to care for them, so I don't need to mention that in here. But we do like to keep these a bit drier than normal because they're overwintered in the polytunnel, but just not enough. When they do start to shrivel, that's when we give them a little bit of water. But obviously at the moment they're in soaking wet soil, same as here. This is actually our Ripsolidopsis, saying this is one of our Ripsolidopsis ones. We've got Schlumbergera and Ripsolidopsis up here. I'll just show you. This is another Ripsolidopsis here, and this is Schlumbergera, commonly known as the Thanksgiving and the Christmas cacti and the Easter cacti. Now last year I overwintered these in the polytunnel, and they did okay because we keep our polytunnel a minimum of 5 degrees Celsius, but they did sort of come a little bit damaged a bit because we had to keep them dry because of the humidity in the polytunnel with the other desert type of cacti. And with epiphytic cacti, especially Schlumbergeras that do like more moisture, again Epiphyllum can sort of be kept dry without any real problems as such, but these do tend to lose their roots or become too shriveled. And I probably overwinter these inside the house this year, but they're going to be okay in the polytunnel probably up until mid-December time, until we get the very cold temperatures during the day, and that's when we'll probably bring them in. But other than that, they're fine for now. So as I say, there's nothing really here that has to really go inside the house to overwinter just yet. We've got the Hylocereuses. Now these don't like any type of cold really below 10°C, and because the nights are dropping quite low, and as I say, we only really have the heater when it drops below 5°C. These are going to be put out during the day. We're going to keep overwinter these obviously inside the house. Temperatures are still mild, so we can keep these out during the daytime, but instead of putting them into the polytunnel like the other ones, we're going to be putting these into the house of a night time because they do need a lot more of a warmer nighttime temperature at this moment in time, and then we'll bring them in permanently into the house when the weather drops very cold. As you can see, it's already a bit of cold damage there already because we've been leaving them out, and I think last night it dropped to about 4 Celsius, so obviously not frosty or anything like that, but still cool enough to cause a bit of damage on Hylocereus, as you can see. So although these are okay indoor, outside during the day, we might probably put them in the polytunnel actually during the day, but we're going to lift them off of a night time into the house. But the other ones will all be okay in the polytunnel. And this is our lovely Schlumbergera. These are all a load of cuttings that we got. This is a Schlumbergera bucklei cuttings here, doing very well. A selection of a few different types. I've got the little labels on so we know which one is which has come from what. And they've really done well over the summer, but as I say, still soaking wet soil. these are probably being into the house to overwinter, probably from, it's difficult to say from late November or December, and the reason being it really does depend on the temperatures here. We have a heater on, as I say, that comes on below 5C of a night, but if the daytime temperatures are still pretty good, no reason why they can't stay into the polytunnel until the last minute really. As I say, this is a euphorbia that's going to be overwintered indoors in the house, probably in the next couple of weeks or so, depending on temperatures again, and that's really all it depends on too. As you see here, we have a few hanging baskets already brought in, and we're going to be hanging all the other ones up in here. So that's what this video vlog is about. I'm going to get Hansi to help me lift some of these plants into the polytunnel, and we've got the chlorophytums out here. Now, the chlorophytum, commonly known as spider plants, I'm sure you're all familiar with this plant. 3 different types here, and these can actually stay out pretty much until the first frost. They're very cold hardy plants, and no problem there. Again, daytime temperature's great. If the nights happen to drop a bit too cool, I can just bring them into the kitchen and then put them back out again during the days. But they are going to be overwintered inside the house, obviously, when the winter gets cooler. And as is a Ripsalis here, lovely Paradoxa, and look at that. I nickname this God, my memory's going with me today. Dreadlock plant. I always laugh about this because Hans has dreadlocks, and I always make a bit of a joke about this plant. It's lovely, but this is not cold hardy either. As you can see, it's already showing signs of cold damage because the nights have been pretty cool. So this is going to be brought in over night time, but in the polytunnel during the day. So there's going to be a lot of moving in and out during the days and the nights, but it's just not cold enough yet to bring any of the hanging baskets. We overwinter indoors, permanently indoors. They might as well enjoy the lovely sunshine while it's out and the mild temperatures. And that's basically what this video vlog's about, just bringing in the ones that we're going to bring into the polytunnel today. And this is what it looks like now, with all the hanging baskets all hanging. And we're going to show you what it looks like when we've put them all into the polytunnel again. As you can see, all the bars are pretty empty at the top there. There's just a few in already, and it's going to look completely different in the next half an hour or so. So I hope you enjoy the video vlog, guys, and thank you all for your support, and enjoy the video. Now I'm going to be moving this table out, so give us a bit more space to work in here. These are all a load of plants I'm in the middle of repotting. I've been repotting a lot of the Hylocereus into slightly bigger pots and making a few little videos along the way. So stay tuned for future videos on me doing a load of repotting. Some of these fell out the pots when we had that storm, so it's a good opportunity for me to do a bit of repotting anyway. And I'm sort of filming as I go along with it. And these are all the succulents here, and few more plants over there. Again, everything's looking pretty good. So I'll do an update video when things are a bit more organised in here. And as I say, a lot of them are going to be coming into overwinter in the next few weeks that aren't as cold hardy as the other type of cacti. But as I say, in the middle of repotting all this at the moment. So as you can see, lots going on, and I'm doing little videos as I go along with it. So we brought a few things out of the polytunnel, as I say, in the middle of repotting things there. And we have Hansi. So Hansi's helping with the moving all the these hanging baskets in, and because he's tall, he's got one big advantage. And by the way, guys, if you're not familiar with my wonderful fiancé Hansi's channel, Family of Cactus and Other Beauties, do go over and subscribe. Links up above, links up above, anyway, that way. So
thank you, darling, thank you.
Say we're going to go get moving, so let's get started then, shall we? Now, Don's doing a great job here, guys. We've got the 2 big large epiphyllums in here now, and the very big Ripsalis there, and also another Ripsalis crispata. Again, may overwinter this one inside the house when the weather gets very cool, but for now it's going to dry out in there. So that's doing pretty much okay, and we've just got the smaller ones to put in now. Now Hans has come up with a really good idea of putting the green little plant ties that you get, as you can see there, to hang the hanging baskets, because the hooks are just not wide enough to go on top of the big poles, as you can see. So they're very strong, them little green clips. So they're perfect for hanging on there. Great idea. Now guys, we're keeping these ones outside here on the hanging basket because these are what we're going to be bringing into the house of a night time. Because the nighttime temperatures are dropping low now, these ones are not in the least cold hardy. The Ipsalis paradoxa marks at even 10 degrees Celsius. Same with Hylocereus here. So these are going to be brought in overnight, but kept out during the daytime to enjoy the good days here while we've still got them. And the same with the chlorophytums, they can stay out here until temperatures start dropping a bit low. We've got little Nepenthes here, same with this one. And then I'll show you what we've done indoors here in the polytunnel. We have all the hanging baskets. Hans has done a great job putting a load of ties up, plant ties, and hanging the baskets up here. As you can see, these are going to be staying in here now pretty much most of them all through the winter to overwinter. As I say, we have our polytunnel at 5 degrees Celsius minimum, so it won't drop below that. So most of these, especially the epiphyllums, can certainly cope with them type of temperatures. The heater kicks on if it drops below 5C of a night or day. But this crispata, Ipsalis crispata, as you can see, it does show signs of marking already. This one did suffer a little bit last year. It had sort of brown leaves and scabs. It was a bit too cold for it. This ideally likes to be kept at a minimum of about 8 Celsius. So this one will be overwintered inside the house. But while the temperatures are still mild, that can stay here for now in the polytunnel. The same with some of our Schlumbergera as well. We've got this one here. We may keep them out because they can cope with sort of 5 degrees Celsius, but ideally they like to be kept more at the 7C. So we're going to keep an eye on them, bringing anything into the house that looks like it's not doing too good. But for now, they're going to overwinter in here while it's not too cold, and the nights are still pretty much frost free. And that's it. That's our little polytunnel hanging basket stand display. And so we still have the chlorophytums out there because they can cope out there. We're going to be bringing them in, and as you can see, we have a lot of plants still out in our yard, and they're going to be coming in obviously to overwinter probably in the next couple of weeks or so. We're just going to see how it goes for the weather here. The longer they can stay out, the better. And we're going to be rearranging this then. A lot of these plants on this table are not cold hardy either. Probably going to be bringing this one in today because that's Hylocereus. Some of these, Hylocereus and that, are more cold sensitive, so they're going to be coming in. And most of the succulents here are pretty much okay. But we have one or two cacti also, like mellow cactus, which is this one here that has the cephalium, where it has the flowers coming out of. They're not cold hardy at all. That has to be overwintered indoors. So we've just got a few little bits and bobs of cacti around that will need to come in the next few, probably couple of weeks or so. So stay tuned for a video when we overwinter our cacti and bring them into the house, into the plant rooms. That's going to be fun and games. But for now, while the weather's not too bad, we'll keep our fingers crossed we can go like this for as long as possible. So guys, thanks so much for watching. And I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power. As always, because the Emerald Isle. And until the next video. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Say bye from Hansi. He's working out the back here. He's doing all his tomatoes and tying everything up. Bye, Hansi.